Welcome! Today, we're diving deep into just one chapter of an ancient text, Genesis 35, and let me tell you, it packs a punch. We're talking about a divine calling, a heartbreaking death, a huge family scandal, and the end of an entire era all in one place.
And that question really is what this is all about. We're looking at this super important moment in Jacob's story, where these incredible divine encounters and world-changing promises are tied directly to deep, gut-wrenching personal loss. It's a story about transformation, for sure, but also about the scars that transformation leaves behind.
So here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to follow Jacob through 4 key moments. First, his sacred homecoming. Then, this really bittersweet moment of blessing and tragedy. Third, the messy, complicated legacy of his kids. And finally, the end of the line for the patriarchs.
So our story kicks off with a command from God to Jacob. It's time to go back to Bethel. Now, this isn't just about packing up and moving. This is a spiritual journey home, a chance for Jacob to finally close a loop on a journey that started decades ago when he was literally running for his life.
And this is a huge callback to one of the most important moments in Jacob's entire life. He's being told to go back to the exact spot where, as a terrified fugitive, he first met God and got this incredible promise that his family would one day become a great nation.
Jacob gets it. He knows this isn't just another campsite. To get ready for this, he basically orders a spiritual deep clean for his whole crew. It's this 3-step process that, is about way more than just taking a bath.
And this leads to this really powerful physical act of leaving the past in the dust. They take their foreign idols and even their earrings, which were probably tied to pagan rituals, and they literally bury them in the ground. It's a clean break. They have to cut ties with the old stuff before they can move on to their new future.
So they get there safely. Actually, the text says a terror of God fell on the towns around them so no one would attack, and Jacob builds an altar. He names the place El Bethel, God of the house of God. He's making it crystal clear that this place is holy, not because of the location, but because of the God who is present there.
Okay, so the sacred moment at Bethel, it really sets the stage for the most dramatic turn in the story. It's where a moment of unbelievable divine blessing is immediately followed by the most profound human tragedy. This sharp contrast, this whiplash, is really the heart of the entire chapter.
And then, boom, God appears to him again in this really direct, powerful encounter and gives him a new identity. Now, he's heard this name before, but here, at this sacred place, it's officially confirmed. It cements his transformation and his destiny.
So what's the big deal with the name change? Well, it's everything. The name Jacob is all about his past, the trickster, the guy who grabs the heel. But Israel, that name means he strives with God. It signifies his new status as a man who has wrestled with the divine and come out the other side as the father of a chosen nation.
And it's not just a name. It comes with this incredible reaffirmation of the original promise. It's this grand vision of a future filled with people, power, and land. For Jacob, this must have felt like the ultimate validation of his entire chaotic life.
But right on the heels of this incredible high comes an absolutely brutal low. As they're on the road in the middle of their journey, Jacob's most beloved wife, Rachel, goes into labor. And it's a terrible, desperate struggle.
The midwife tries to encourage her, telling her, you have another son, but it's too late. And in her final moments, with her last breath, she names her newborn son based on the immense pain she's in. The name she gives him is Ben-Oni, which means son of my sorrow. It's a name that's just steeped in grief and the agony of his birth.
But Jacob, in his own grief, immediately renames him. He changes it to Benjamin. He transforms a legacy of sorrow into one of strength and honor. Son of my right hand means favor, power, a place of importance. Jacob refuses to let his youngest son be defined only by the tragedy that brought him into the world.
So the 12th son is finally born, the family line is secure, but the story immediately throws another curveball. The family is instantly marked by scandal and complexity, reminding us that even if the promise is divine, the people carrying it are, well, they're deeply, deeply flawed. Right after Rachel's death, something truly shocking happens. Reuben, Jacob's firstborn son, sleeps with Bilhah, who was not only Rachel's servant, but also his father's concubine. In their culture, this was a massive violation, not just a personal betrayal, but a direct attack on his father's authority. And the text ends with this chillingly simple line, "And Israel heard of it."
And this table just lays it all out, doesn't it? This isn't one happy family. It's a complex, messy, fractured family with 4 different mothers and a history of rivalry, favoritism, and now, outright transgression. This is the raw material that the 12 tribes of Israel are going to be built from.
All right, so after all this drama, Jacob's long, winding journey is finally coming to a close. He makes it home to his father just in time to shut the door on a major chapter of their family's history.
I mean, think about it. After decades away, running from his brother, building a family in a foreign land, wrestling with God, Jacob finally returns to his elderly father Isaac. This moment marks the end of his long exile. And he gets there just in time. Isaac passes away at the ripe old age of 180. His life, which was kind of defined by being the quiet bridge between his larger-than-life father Abraham and his complicated son Jacob, comes to a peaceful end.
And in this really powerful final act, who is there to bury him? Both his sons, Esau and Jacob, the twin brothers whose rivalry started this whole story. They come together to lay their father to rest. It's a sign that the conflict that defined their youth is finally over.
So, here we are. The era of the founding patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, it's over. The promise of a nation now rests on the shoulders of this complicated, grieving, and pretty divided family. What Genesis 35 shows us so vividly is that the path to fulfilling a divine promise is never neat and tidy. It's paved with human sorrow, with failure, and with the relentless, costly march of time. The foundation has been laid, but the real story, with all its messiness, is just getting started.